Hello, I'm Josh, one of the artists at Smiteworks, and I'm demonstrating some of the monster creation system that's going to be coming in Fantasy Grounds. It's a very simple system. Basically, it's set up much like a paper doll, where we have different elements here, appendages, torsos, heads, and so on. This is only a small portion of some of the images that will be coming out, and I just wanted to do a brief demonstration on how to use this. It's very simple, and I'll go through it quite quickly here. And then we can use our final image to make a token as well, and I'm going to go through some of that. So here we can start off with a torso. I usually recommend starting there. We can grab any one of these that we wish. I think I'm going to do something like, let's grab this one. And you can see here, this is a little bit of an undead kind of creature here. And then we can go back and grab any sort of head that we wish. Now these are all colorized, however, they are in all of the same values, so that we can take any of these images and adjust their colors if necessary, and we should be able to work on that just fine. So if we grab something like this, we can just drag and drop this right here. We can change the size, its orientation, we can turn it a little bit, or do whatever we wish with it. And then we can grab some of the arms. Maybe we'll grab something like this. We can just drag and drop these right here. This one has arms for both sides here. We can adjust the sides again and kind of make that seem to fit a little bit better. And then also we can grab some of these legs. I like to drop the legs in depending on the torso. They should either be in front or behind. So if we grab something along these lines, as you can see here, that's going to fit a little bit wonky on that side. So we're just going to reverse it and drop it right in here. So I'm going to drop it right in underneath the torso. And you can see, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to elongate it a little bit, and it's going to fit in there pretty nicely. Again, this has got a second leg here, and again, I'm going to reverse it and drop it down in underneath the torso and put it over here like this. And again, I'm going to elongate it, and then again, if we hold down Control, we can kind of place that with a little bit more ease. And here we've created a monster very, very quickly, as you can see here. Now what I can do is I can grab all of these and we can adjust these colors all at the same time. So if we wanted to add in any sort of changes here, we can certainly do that. Let's make it a little bit more green. Now to further enhance this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an effects layer here. And I'm going to jump over to the adjust colors. Now with this, what I can actually do is further adjust some of these colors, but in wherever I wish it. So perhaps I want to increase the red, or let's actually make it a little bit more on the yellow side in certain areas. And then I'm going to create a mask here. And what this is going to allow me to do is to draw out, what I'm doing is holding Alt so that I can draw out little sections here. And then I can blur this out and remove certain areas to change these colors here however we wish. We might want to make that a little bit darker so it kind of fits in there a little bit better. And again, we might want to put some down here. Just kind of unify some of this stuff really easily here. And again, we can either blur this more or less, whatever we'd like. We could do this several times if we wished. We could create an additional effects layer. Now let's create one more. And then we're going to come in here. I think what we're going to do is going to give him some glowing eyes. So again, I'm going to create one of these areas here. I'm going to create a mask straight away. And I'm just going to brighten up these eyes a little bit. And again, we're going to make those glow. Let's make them red. So here we have created our creature here. He's got some glowing eyes and whatnot. I think this one's a little bit too much on the yellow side. So let's go back and readjust that. We can do this like super easily. Maybe we want to bring in a little bit more purple to it. And that's looking pretty cool. What I can actually do is I have a bunch of backgrounds that are going to be going with this as well. So you could grab a background and throw it in behind there if you want to do more of an illustration. But I think we're going to keep it just like this for right now. And what we'll do is now we're just going to export it. We just have to push this little button right down here. And this is going to bring us a pop-up here. You're not going to see it on my recording, but I'm going to save this as a WebP file. And this is going to automatically save it into my images here. So I'm just going to call it monster Let's call it Monster 3 because I've done this a couple of times. And you can see that this has been exported. And all I have to do is go into my, back to my home here. And I believe that it goes right into my campaign folder here. And I just have to refresh this and we should get a pop-up. Yep, here it is. And it's all been exported just like this. If I grab this and I drop it out here, you can see that we have a actual recreation of everything that we just kind of put together there. It's super quick. Now we could have put multiple arms on it, so on. There's going to be wings, tails, horns, patches of fur, scales, and so on. So you can really customize these any way you wish here. And what I'm going to actually do is do something similar here. So I'm just going to go back up into my images here. And we have a whole bunch of different token frames here. What I can actually do is grab something, and these are going to be all included in it as well. So let's grab something like this. And here is the token frame. The easy way to do this is I'm going to go back into my painting tab here. I'm going to turn off the stroke, but I'm going to turn it into a fill, and I'm going to go to my ellipse. Back in the campaign folder here, I'm going to grab this guy. We're going to drop him right into the fill area. And just below my frame here, I'm just going to start painting. And what this is going to do, I'm going to hold down Alt and Shift so I can kind of drag out. I'm not going to really be able to see this because I'm going to have to go in here and move it to something like that. And that's going to look good for my frame. Now, I don't have to worry about the size too much here because what I can do is I can switch back over into my Layers tab, holding down Shift to make sure that it stays even as we adjust the size of it. And we can kind of move it here. I'm going to drop this down in underneath my wooden frame so that I can get this in here pretty perfectly. And if I hold down Control, it will not snap to the grid, so I can kind of move this around to whatever we wish. Again, I can go back in underneath, and if I want to put in another background, so on and so forth, I can do that, and I can export this exactly the same way. Super easy. You can see it's done in just a few minutes, and that's all that is.